So if and when you guys get to the point of actually having to hire for your business, you know that onboarding new employees can be a really long, arduous process. And so as such, what we're doing internally at Butler is creating a series of videos for new employees. So I thought it'd be helpful for you, our YouTube audience, to see kind of a behind the scenes look at what our onboarding process looks like. So the next video you're gonna watch is from the perspective of a new recruit at Butler. Hope you enjoy. So the primary difference between a project manager and an account manager is the type of work that you're overseeing. When we first started, I had to run customer service calls, one-off projects, and retainer clients. But then as we started to grow, as we were serving more and more clients in each respective type of work, we started having to hire for each of those departments. And so I'll start with project manager. If you're a project manager, you're overseeing the one-off projects, whereas account managers are overseeing our retainer clients. And so I want to talk a little bit about the role of a project manager. The first part of your role is to know the clients, the audience, and the goals. And so when you think of project management, you can't think of it as like just task management. You have to have a really good, deep understanding of who the client is, who their audience is, and what they're trying to accomplish, because we're trying to solve a problem. And the problem that we've had before with project managers thinking of themselves as primarily just task managers and overseeing the team to make sure that tasks are getting sent through is that you miss the bigger picture of everything. And so what I'm meaning when I say you have to have an understanding of who the client is, that means who they are, how their business is structured, their products, their services that they're offering, their goals, and having an understanding of who their competition is. When I'm referring to the audiences, we're not creating and launching content really for our clients. At the end of the day, we're creating it for their audiences. And so you have to have a pretty good understanding of who it is we're actually talking to. And then the third part of knowing everything, or knowing the clients, the audiences, and the goals is, of course, the goals. What are we actually trying to accomplish? What is the big picture? And so for one-off projects, maybe the big picture is to completely reposition this brand in the marketplace, just as an example. And so you can't let the big picture get away from you. At the end of the day, we have to know who our clients are, who their audience is, and what they're trying to accomplish. The second thing is knowing the dynamics of everything that it's involved. So the first point is knowing the client, the audience, and their goals. Well, now that we understand that, what does it take to actually accomplish their goals? A project manager really has to have a working understanding of a million different pieces to make that goal come to fruition. And so it's important for the project manager to know at least three things. The in-house assets that we have, the outsource assets, and purchase assets. So what I'm talking about when I say assets are things that you have at your disposal to make sure that projects can move forward. So an in-house asset includes everybody on the Butler team. It's important for the project manager to have a good working relationship with our team. So you have to know that we have photographers, we have videographers, we have to have graphic designers, and you have to have a relationship with our in-house assets, the people that are actually doing the creative work on our team. But sometimes there's things that you need access to that we don't have available in-house, and these are what we call outsourced assets. And so this includes our network of trusted service providers, our freelancers, and our vendors. And so maybe we have a list of independent contractors that are really good photographers if we're looking for a particular type of photography style or a graphic design style, or a web development project that requires a level of expertise that is outside of our in-house capabilities. You have to know who to outsource to and when to outsource. And then the third type of asset we have is what we call purchased assets. And that includes all the various products and services that may need to be acquired to accomplish the project or to see the project through to finish. And that might be things like stock photography, websites and accounts, or stock footage, or digital marketing tools, or where we're buying print materials from. And so having pretty much a vendor list of assets that we purchase in order to be able to accomplish projects. And so the project manager has to know everything that's involved to be able to make that project come to fruition, and all of the different pieces, whether they be in-house, outsourced, or purchased. And then the next thing is to be the liaison between the client as well as the team. And so we call it the liaison and the connector. And so by the connector, we're talking about making sure that everybody is clearly and frequently communicated with. One of our core values is open and honest communication. And the project manager, pretty much all of your day is going to be consisted of contacting people. You're in contact with the client and with the team, and so you're making connections. You're also acting as the translator. Because a lot of times you're kind of in the middle. There's the client who has their goals, and then there's the team that has their ability to achieve and do the output. And so you have to really translate the client's goals into actionable steps for our team. And you need to be able to translate the team's needs and their capacity to the client. And so you're stuck in the middle as being the liaison and the translator. And you're also having to act as the advocate. What I mean by advocate is when it comes to dealing with managing our team, you have to advocate for our client. The client has particular goals and a deadline and a budget that they have to stay within. And so you have to make sure that you're advocating for the client to make sure that we stay within budget, within scope, and on time. On the other hand, you also have to advocate for our team because they want to feel that they're supported and that you're not just cracking the whip to make sure they're doing their output, that we're managing the client expectations properly and that we're setting the tone for the actual end date. And so you have to be the advocate. And then the last part of the duty is to do task management. I started with saying that you're not primarily a task manager. If you just see your role as being like, okay, what is this big project and what are all the tasks in between, then you're gonna miss the bigger picture. You have to have all those prelim steps worked out, but then at the end of the day, task management is a huge part of the job. And you're gonna be overseeing multiple projects with each account having multiple tasks within any given month. And further, the project manager has to make sure that okay, so what is not only all of the tasks that need to be done, but how can we get these done in what we call sprints? You could call it a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. At the end of each phase or at the end of each sprint, there has to be a clear list of deliverables as where sprint 1 is complete, and then we move on to the next one. And so in concept, conceptually, it sounds pretty easy. Here's a project with a bunch of different phases. Each phase has all of the tasks. The challenge is to make sure that you have a really good understanding of what those tasks are and the deadlines and who's responsible for doing that. So that's what the job is. It's to know the client, the audience, and the goals. It's to know the dynamics of everything involved. It's to be the liaison and the advocate and to do task management. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure this content gets out to more people. And if you are a creative entrepreneur and you're looking to level up, maybe you feel stuck, learn from my mistakes. At agency.butlerbranding.com, we have a free webinar that talks about everything I've learned in scaling Butler Branding since we started in 2012. I'm talking about everything I've learned from brand positioning, marketing, sales, strategy, and project management. So learn to level up for free at agency.butlerbranding.com.